Ben, what gives shark teeth their color?
So shark teeth are naturally whitish in color. What happens is the tooth eventually hits the sea floor and it quickly gets buried by sediments, and the organic matter of the tooth winds up decaying and gets replaced with minerals over time. And this can take thousands of years via pressure and water flow. And this is a process known as permineralization. And you see this with other fossils too. And the sediment and metallic elements that are present are the primary culprits of the coloration differences we see amongst teeth. This is why you can have teeth even of the same locality of different colors. It's just the composition. And then there's also secondary sources of coloration that occur post fossilization. And these can include exposure to sunlight, salt, wildlife, water, tannins, and a whole host of other factors.
And I know occasionally people seek out teeth that have lightning strikes on them. I know it's fairly common in South Carolina, but you get them everywhere. And you get them everywhere not because it's a different like mineralization process, but you get plant roots that seep into the soil gathering nutrients, and the nutrient that these plants want exists in the teeth. And so what you're seeing is a essentially a mineral deficiency that causes those light colored lightning strikes more or less. And I know you get a lot of interesting minerals in shark teeth. One in particular is pyrite. A lot of these South Georgia localities on the Atlantic coast really have a lot of pyrite in them, and that's great, but it cannot be great, especially when you have a hot, humid environment, particularly the humidity, because pyrite will expand and grow as it's exposed to humidity, and that will eventually crack and kill the tooth. That's called pyrite disease. And so typically when you get a lot of pyrite and stuff, you need to keep those fossils separate, because pyrite disease can jump from fossil to fossil and will inevitably ruin your collection as a whole. So yeah,
It's
that's my
very
little.
interesting. Another interesting one is manganese.
Mm-hmm.
You can sometimes get those manganese flakes that are really cool. It's a black design, almost reminiscent of snowflakes, and you can get, really cool black stains on the teeth, but you also have to be careful of those because the teeth can wind up deteriorating depending on the manganese exposure on them.
Hmm. Interesting.